part in the countryside. This one particular day, it was just before just before Thanksgiving it was. These three neighbors who got together every year and decided to go hunting. This one particular year, they were going to do some possum hunting. They had some great dogs that really knowed how to get the thrill of the hunt on with a possum. And so these three guys got in the truck, laughing and carrying on like they usually do, joshing each other. One of them's name was Sam, and the other one was Alan, and the other one was Stuart. And these three guys, they cut up all the time, but when it come to hunting, they took it quite serious on this Thanksgiving Eve. There they was in the neck of the woods with the old 54 Chevrolet truck and three hound dogs. There they were. The thrill of the hunt was on in the country. There they was, going up ridges and down ridges. And of course, Stuart was always a complainer. He said, man, when we going to jump something? When's something going to stir up? You know, time was at hand. It wasn't long, they jumped a nice little young possum. There it was in the tree. And those dogs just acted a fool to try to get up in that tree to get that possum. I mean, they went and roared and shouted. You should hear the thrill of the hunt was on right then. Them old boys, you know, they just had a little old rifle with them. They just take and shoot him in the back of the head with old 22 rifle, and he'd hit the ground momentarily. And they did that. They got him a nice little plump one, white-haired and black. Nice little possum. They put him in a sack, and they went on up the ridge to see if they could get one or two more. Well, they went out there about a half a mile or so, maybe a mile, and it wasn't long till they jumped another one. Them hound dogs got to crying again. There he is, there he is. And boy, it wasn't long, they had him treed too. I mean, this was a nice full moon night. The moon was bright, but the air was clean. It was warm, but yet kind of cold as you got down into the valley area. It was strange how the air would turn cold at once. And then when you go up, it turned warm. It was a strange night, but the moon was so bright. And it wasn't long, they bagged another one. And they said, hey, we get one more, boys. We all have us one, I guess. Look, I'm ready to go home. I've got a toothache. I'm ready to call it quits. You boys, y'all just have to split with me. Oh, and they said, oh, ain't nobody going to split with you. You're going to have to get your own. And they heard a noise over there, not far from the one that they just killed. And all at once, the dogs was on another one, right there where they almost got that, right there where they got that other one. And Lord, they looked up in the tree and they shined the lights, and it was a big black possum. Black as a night he was. Yeah. And it wasn't long they bagged him. They popped him. He fell out of the tree. The dog was on him on all 4 feet. And I mean, they had him bagged too, buddy. Let me tell you, they had him bagged. And they had, I guess you could say, about 30 pounds of possum. If not a little bit more in a bag. And you know, that 30, and one of Sam went and threw it across his shoulder, and they took off down the ridges, going back to the truck. And then all at once, Sam said, hey, man, you give me a hand with this bag. This thing's awful heavy. And old Alan said, oh, you little weakling, yeah, you can't handle a little 30 pounds of possum. He said, man, no, I'm not lying. This thing is pretty heavy. What about giving me a hand with it? And old Alan reached over and gave Sam a hand. He said, dang, man, what you got in this thing here? And you know what? They set that thing on the ground, and he began to try to tighten up the bag on it. And all at once, something come out of that bag, man, and bust through it, ran out the top of that bag, down into the wooded area, and nobody got a chance to see what it was. Now, all three of them possums were supposed to be dead, but for some strange reason or another, something come out of that bag, and it was bigger than what they put in that bag. Much bigger. And let me tell you, them boys, they looked at each other and said, what in the devil was that? Man, wasn't these possums dead in here? And then as the moon looked down upon them boys, they looked at each other with their gleaming eyes and said, man, I don't know what it was, but it sure wasn't nothing that we went and killed. So they went on home, but they still had them two possums, but the one that they had killed, one of them possums wasn't a possum, it was some kind of ghost, I guess you could say. A ghost that they seen, and a ghost that they'll never forget, I guess you would say. So I guess I can cut that story short right now, and I guess you could say my name was Stuart, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Of course, Alan and Sam, they still live around here somewhere. I hadn't talked to the boys in a while, but we'll sit together sometimes and we'll talk about that. This thing that we went and thought was a possum turned out to be some kind of unknown mystery to us. And I don't guess neither one of us is going to live that down, what we saw that night. But we saw it. As bright as the moon was shining, all we seen was the darkness and something that was bigger than what we shot come out of that bag and went down that ridge. Well, I guess I could say that's so much for that, but it's still going to hide in my memory. And I bet it's going to hide in Alan's and Sam's too, because even this day, we don't know what it was.
Man,
yeah.
Now, Doris, that was a beautiful story.
Yeah, the possum.
And just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yes, it was, man. Mm-hmm.